So your name is Sandeep Sarlaya K, right?
Yep.
So how much experience you have right now?
Like currently, I have around 3.6 years of experience. Uh, like, uh, so currently, I'm working as an SG2 in a Mumbai-based startup. So,
Hmm.
startup is into the fintech credit analysis part. So there I'm working on an order tracking application, which I have built from the scratch.
Hmm.
And me, so I basically own that particular application over there. So me along with uh, under me there are three junior engineers. So we have built that system from the scratch. Prior to that, I worked with Infosys for around 2 years. There I worked for an European telecom client
Hmm.
as a backend engineer, majorly, like where I was handling the middleware layer for Austria country, the APIs, simple REST APIs and all. And with respect to tech stacks, Infosys, it was purely Java and MySQL DB and Spring Boot we have used.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, but coming to the startup where I worked, I have used Java, Spring Boot, then MongoDB and AWS we are working, and also a bit of React as the UI component which I have to do.
So you have mentioned Python as well in your
Yeah, yeah.
profile.
Yeah, I have. Sorry, I forgot about that. Yeah, I have developed some services in Python using Flask and some major library, kind of in-house libraries to parse the image and all to get the text. So yeah, that.
Okay, so I can ask collective both question, or you only comfortable in Java?
Yeah, I'm more comfortable in Java compared to like
Okay,
other.
okay, great, great. So Java side, Java 8 and add features,
Yeah, Java 8 released major features like streams, lambda functions, and like default methods and
Mm-hmm.
all. So, in which the streams is the one where we can, like whatever the collection we use, we can streamline it into an input of object, and we can apply extra additional filters or map it then to some other form and ready. I mean, finally correct it into some other uh, uh, a list or some other end result. So this actually eases the reduces the number of lines of code for whatever the operation, and it presents our code in a better way. And compared to lambda function, I mean, coming back to lambda function is used to operate like, I mean, instead of writing the whole syntax of the functions and all, it's kind of an uh, generic statement. What it does, like if this is the input, then what will be the operation which needs to be followed. So this lambda can function can be used inside the stream as well, like in the filter methods and all. And yeah, and one more feature like the default method which I would like to explain is something like in interfaces. Like previously, the method had to be overridden whenever we implementing an interface, but with the include of default methods, there is a provision to provide an default implementation. Like
Mm-hmm.
if the client class does not implement the does not override the method. So yeah, I think yeah, these are the major things. And yeah, then there are some date APIs and all, like how yeah,
Okay,
I think these,
okay. So you also familiar with multi-threading?
yeah, I know the fundamentals and
Yeah,
I
just
have,
I will ask to fundamental. Not I'm just going to deep.
yeah, sure.
So you know what is difference between thread and process?
Yeah, so like thread is the smallest unique often process. So like, I mean, a process can have multi-threads. So a process has a main thread always, and if required, we can. If there is any process, I mean, if there is any task which could be done uh, like parallelly by context switching, then we can further divide it into multiple threads, and we will be doing that. So, and the threads will be using the shared memories and all, and but yeah, process cannot be. So let's say if I'm deploying an application in an EC2 server or something, that is an process, like some of my Java application or something. and inside that process there is a main thread and there could be multiple other threads,
Mm-hmm.
whatever the developer wants. And like if I deploy one more process, like one more application, let's say I deployed order service and I also deployed let's say customer service in one port and the other port, then those are nothing but the two processes running in the server, and inside the process there will be multiple threads.
Okay. So, what are advantage of multi-threading?
Yeah, multi-threading. As I said, like let's say if there are some operations
Mm-hmm.
which does not which is not dependent on each other.
Mm-hmm.
There is no need of waiting of option. I mean, operation one to complete to execute operation two. Then we can execute it with different threads uh, so that the time is saved and we could improve the efficiency of the program. And yeah, that's the main advantage of it.
So, what are the life cycle uh, of thread? Means what kind of state is required to complete the life cycle of thread?
Yeah, I guess I think it would be starting with the new state kind of state. Like I mean,
Mm-hmm.
when the thread and when we like I mean, if we go back to the like if we execute the dot start or something, so
Mm-hmm.
that would be go to the active state, and wherein the like I mean, like if the CPU is free, that would be in the running state,
Mm-hmm.
and like let's say if it's waiting for a resource or something, or let's say if a particular object is locked by some other thread, then it would be moved into the waiting state or blocked state. Like I mean, if it will be idle for that particular time till that resource is released from other thread, and finally, like once all the execution is done, I think it will move to the terminator state where like the thread is destroyed or something. Yeah, I think these are the main I could remember, but
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
there
yes.
could be.
Okay, 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 great. So, you know what is difference between sleep and wait method?
Uh, Okay, I'm not, quite not sure this is a decision, but I think let's say if I am waiting for an object
Mm-hmm.
or something, like I can the Java provides the method dot, like for example an object is being used for the synchronization, then
Mm-hmm.
I can write object dot wait, right? So whatever the time that particular thread will wait for accessing that particular object. Now if I
Right.
say sleep and if I mention particular some time, so irrespective of object getting or not, it will sleep for that particular time. So whereas this wait operation
Mm-hmm.
will get released if that particular object is released. So using notify all or notify, the thread will be notified that this is released. So then you can continue your execution or something like that.
You know, sometime you will get the interrupt exception, right? In multi-threading environment.
Yeah. Okay.
So, how to resolve? By using join method or using sleep or resume method? How to resolve this interrupt exception? Interrupt means when two threads are parallelly trying to process the block inside the block to execution. In that cases, both threads are going to interrupt it.
Okay. Okay. Maybe I mean one method I mean I could think of is like synchronized block. We can
Mm-hmm.
put that code into a synchronized back so that one thread is accessing at a time. But we can also, I mean, that is one way, and the other way could be something like uh, I'm not sure this could be done, but yeah, the synchronized I have experience, but the other, this one maybe we can sleep it, make the thread pause or sleep for some minute and then resume it after or something like that. But yeah, I'm quite not sure on that.
Okay, 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 no problem. So just I'm moving to next question regarding to the other part of Java. So Java, how many types of memory use for initial to finish the execution? Initial means compile to execution end. How many types of memory used by Java?
Okay. As far as I know, like majorly there are two types of memory,
Mm-hmm.
like the stack memory and the heap memory.
Mm-hmm.
So although like the temporary method execution or the class loading and what do we say?
No,
The I mean,
but you know, suppose you are using compilation time Java used to native library. So here need required native related memory or not?
Sorry, I
Native
didn't get.
library, native
Okay.
library, suppose you
Yeah.
are writing code in Java file, but
Yeah.
during the compilation, compiler have written in C++,
Mhm.
right?
Okay.
So compiler, because of here need to be the native library, means Java to C++, then it will start the compile C++
Okay.
to Java, how to
Yeah.
compile it.
Yeah, I think the that conversion and everything is taken care. I mean, the platform depend. I mean, independence is taken by JVM, the
Hmm.
Java Virtual Machine, which converts the bytecode into the whatever the OS respective code. Like I mean, which the machine understands, the CPU understands. So
Hmm.
that is taken care of by JVM. And while compiling for the execution of the program, like I think majorly two memories are used: the stack and the heap. That's what I was trying to explain.
So
Uh,
stack and heap, it is used for only the execution, right?
yeah.
But other also have memory, just like method area, native area memory allocations, some caching mechanism. Lot of memory is there.
Okay.
Hmm. I think
As
okay, no problem. But majorly used to stack and heap.
yeah.
So permanent generation and meta space. You know about that? PumGen, in shortcut name is a PumGen and meta space.
Metaspace I have heard of where we can load the all the metadata about the classes. I mean, the so something like that, the libraries and all. But yeah, from permanent generation, I haven't heard of.
No, PumGen memory allocation, it is a part of, suppose you are writing some code and executing, but in that scenario, your program is going to stack out of memory or something. So this is a part of PumGen.
Okay. Yeah, I.
Meta space is different thing because of this part is resolved in Java 8 because
Okay.
of Java meta space nothing, just as a flexible as per the required memory will allocate.
Okay.
This is the differences. That's why
Okay.
I asked you. So I will ask from the Oaks, what do you think about abstraction and encapsulation?
Okay, so yeah, these are the pillars of object-oriented programming. So, I mean, let me just little bit about the encapsulation. So, encapsulation is used to bind the data, like the data and their particular methods, using which we can protect the access towards the data. Like we can monitor. I mean, we can restrict who can access the data and how can access the data. So this is achieved in Java using access modifiers like private, protected, public, and all.
Mm-hmm.
Coming to the abstraction part, it is majorly used to hide the major implementation of the uh, methods or whatever the method. Like I mean, and it only shows the client like what is actually required. Let's say, for example, I mean, let's say this is achieved using the interface or the abstraction class, and like for example, let's say we
No,
have a method.
no, dear. Interface and abstractions is a different. Abstract class is a different thing.
No, no, I'm talking about the principle of abstraction is achieved
No,
using interface.
abstraction is not achieved through these two things. How do you achieve? Because of abstract class no have object, interface no have object. So how do you achieve abstraction?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to complete. So basically, like I mean, what using this, what it does is like it provides the template. Like this is the method name. Let's say, for example, fetch from database or something like that, or fetch from the corporate users or something like that. Now, a particular method will be implement or extend this particular method and write the implementation. So that particular implementation is hidden from our actual client user. So the client user just knows that this there is a method and that is used to fetch the data. So that's it. Like I mean, which way it is implemented, the actual the implementation process is hidden from the our client. So that's where the abstraction is achieved. Like I mean, internal working is hidden. The only the name of the method is exposed to our client.
Okay. So, encapsulation just as a object means your bind data and method into object mean
Yeah,
encapsulate the class variable and method into the object. That
yeah,
is simple definition, right? And abstraction is just abstract the encapsulated value to
okay,
presenting to the user
okay.
outcome without implementation details.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
simple
that's
thing.
what I also said. Like, I mean, usually we achieve this using that one, right? Like, I
Yes,
mean, we are just exposing the method name. We are not showing the internal details to the client.
yes. For if you are want to go in deep, so it means if you have object dot the name of method. This is the simple example of abstractions,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Uh, because of class is a class, you through the class you cannot justify it. Class is a template. It is a definition only.
Yeah,
Collection of variable and method
yeah,
into the one template. That is
yeah,
simple. If it is coming collection of data and method into single unit, unit means is a runtime entity. Runtime entity is a object.
yeah,
This is the definition. So because of both are the complement of each other. So static method, static method can be override or overload. Both both
yeah.
cases can be do.
I think the overriding is not possible.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and yeah, maybe we can overload. I guess so. But yeah, I'm quite sure overriding is not possible.
Overriding is not possible, right? Okay. But suppose we want to declare same method in both classes, parent and child. So in that scenario, it will compile and run.
Uh, I think no, but yeah, I haven't checked that. Yeah, but yeah, I think no.
No, why?
I mean, ideally, let's say
I
if
think you have given answer already. Means cannot be
if
override. So
yeah,
it means not make sense to it will not execute and compile.
yeah, that's perfect. It won't. Like I mean, the compiler. I mean, even though we are not. I mean, same method, same signature will not work. Okay.
No work because of static methods are associated with the class, not associated with the object.
Okay.
So you can call through. You are already making lot of method as a static. So you
Yeah, got it.
using the class dot name method name.
Yeah, yeah,
So you can call. It is not impacted. It will
yeah,
compile and run.
yeah.
That's why for I have asked the class question.
Yeah,
Overriding if not happen, so it will not happen and it will
yeah.
give the compilation error. That is just a forward answer. So you already given. So um, main method can overload.
Overload. So, like there should be one method, and yeah, I think we can, but the parameters. Uh, yeah, I'm quite not sure about that.
No. Why you are not sure? You are given the answer about the overloading. Overloading means what is definition? Just you give me answer.
Yeah, the same. I mean, the method signatures are different, like the same name. So yeah, it's interesting.
Method name, method signature is same, input parameter is different. This is the two
Yeah,
definitions, right?
yeah.
So why will not overload? Just you verify with your two definitions, you will get answer.
Okay.
Got answer?
Like overloading is possible and like overriding is not possible. Static method.
Overriding is not possible because of this is the static method.
Yeah, overloading is possible.
Possible because of here have public static void main method.
Yeah,
Inside you are passing string array.
yeah,
You pass any integer value, long value, double
yeah,
value, that would be a overloaded concept.
yeah,
So it will not impact to this method because a JVM will only check static, public, void, main and string argument parameter. All these things is fine, a JVM will execute
yeah.
the program.
Uh,
How many times you have overloaded doesn't matter.
uh,
You 100 time or 1000 time you can overload.
okay.
So in a Springboard, in a Springboard, suppose you want to, the singleton class,
Yeah,
singleton in Spring Framework. So this
yeah.
singleton is thread safe or thread dependent?
Okay. I think ideally it should be thread safe.
Thread safe. How? Suppose you are writing code like
Hmm.
that some business component, you are making anywhere as a thread safe concept you are applying.
No, no.
So
Mm,
how do
yeah,
you say 100% it is thread safe? Right?
yeah, yeah,
Actually, you logically just you think you will get the answer. If you logically you think you give the answer correct. Because of you thinking about, because of that string container will initiate. Yeah, definitely string container will initiate, but if you are using at the red bean,
mhm,
right? You marking at the red bean in string framework. If you are
yeah,
using Spring Boot, so Spring Boot, the enable auto configuration. So
yeah,
enable auto configuration annotation will mark as a singleton. By default, it treat as a at the red bean, it will mark the
yeah,
particular component.
yeah,
So that would be a singleton.
yeah.
Simple answer.
Mm.
So uh, what type of scope variable in Spring Framework or Spring Boot? Anyone you can
Oh, sorry, I missed your question. Can you repeat?
say. Scope variable in Spring Boot or Spring Framework.
Like one is singleton and the other one would be the like the prototype or something like that.
Mm.
Yeah, I think these two I am aware of it.
Why? How you not remember? A singleton, prototype, mm, request, session, global session.
Yeah, I
Good
have not.
question.
There was not a scenario required to use different types of beans, or generally,
No,
I mean,
request. I think you every time use if you are making REST API. So how do you say I'm not using session? If you are session, when will you use? Suppose you are directly use the that view resolver resources without REST API, right? Without
mm,
REST API, just return a view resolver. So view resolver is taking inside. You want to make it as any variable as a global session. So you can make it as a global session because of if you are using React or JSP or JSTL, anything. So you can make it as a, for example, user ID, make it as a global session.
mm,
Spring not telling you only write the REST API, right?
yeah,
Spring is also telling you can make as a embedded complete program by using React or by using JSP and JSTL. You can use these things,
okay,
right?
yeah,
So that's why you can use it. But so REST API is a stateful or stateless?
stateless.
Stateless. That's why we are not using. Why I ask the behind this reason. That's why we are not using the session object.
Yeah.
because session will not work because of this is REST API, third party API, it will call to other system. So that's why because of this is the stateless. So here I am
Yeah.
not using the session or global session.
Hmm.
But um so in Hibernate JPA, why we are using JPA
Yeah. To
instead
communicate.
of JDBC template? What is reason behind this?
Okay. So majorly to map the whatever the data in the what database into directly into an object.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, whereas I mean using the at the annotations like we use like at the rate table at the rate columns ID and all to
Mm-hmm.
that ORM annotations like directly the database entity will be mapped to this. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
in JDBC there I mean if let's say it would have been converted to the transition from the database row and columns or let's say to the Java object is kind of which had led to many issues. Some I mean some.
So, so Sandeep, I will ask one more question.
Okay.
So, you can map through the JDBC template in a Spring framework or a Spring Boot, this kind of thing. So, no need to JPA.
No, but still, I mean this whatever the automatic conversion, I think it's not possible with the JDBC as much as I know.
Yes,
But
yes. So that's why I want to ask the exact answer. The simple because of automatically you don't connect reason behind it is totally depend on the database JDBC template. Okay.
yeah,
If you change the database, so code need to be changed,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
But in JPA, if you change the database, not necessary required to change the JPA code.
yeah,
Only replace the database and rest your application will work. So
uh,
this is the cost optimization for the organization level, but JDBC template is a cost effective if company don't want to purchase Oracle or any other license version. They want to come into the free version.
yeah,
So this is easy to move
yeah,
through the JPA.
yeah,
That's why we are using JPA.
yeah,
And code perspective, you already explained about that.
yeah.
Yes. So in you know collection.
Yeah.
So in collection framework, the map and list, two interfaces there, right?
Yeah.
So list and set.
Mm.
What is difference between list and set?
Okay. Set, we cannot store the duplicates and
Mm-hmm.
all. Whereas the list, we can store the duplicate. And lookup in the set is like big of one operation.
Mm-hmm.
You, and yeah, list, we need to traverse through each and everything to check if the particular, I mean, it's a big of an operation. And in the list, we can access the data using the indexes,
Mm-hmm.
whereas set we cannot. Either we need to iterate through the whole list or using the for each loop or the iterator and then get the data.
Mm-hmm. So uh, a, any other differences? Why list is storing duplicate? Why set is not storing duplicate? Have any reason behind this?
I mean, it depends on the implementation. I mean, the array list, I mean, we can, array list is basic implementation of the, with the help of array, whereas the set internally would be, it will use hash table so that
No,
the
hash table I will use. Hash table not use because of list and set is a part of collection, and map is a part of different things.
no, no, I'm talking not talking about the hash map. Internally, it uses the hash table part, like wherein using the hashing.
But you telling about the hash table. So hash table is a part of collection framework. It is a synchronized hash map, hash tables. In other term, you want to say. That's why
Now,
I am just cross questioning to you.
I'm talking about the general hashing perspective, so that the not duplicate hashing will be generated whenever we put it to set, so that the like I mean so that the whenever we put the new element, the same hash should I mean the same hash should generate, and it would not add the duplicate element. So using
So you just for your attention, has has said internal implementation is having with the combination of linked list and hashing mechanism, hash code and equals method implementation.
yeah, I was telling about the hashing itself. Using the
Yes,
hashing will
yes. Because of you telling the hash table, that's why I was confused. So hash table will not have role because of hash table is also follow the same mechanism, hashing and equals and linked list, but it is maintaining the pair of key and value, but hash map is not maintaining key and value. This is the
yeah,
differences, right?
right.
Yeah. So these things just and tree set, tree set.
Yeah, that would store the. I mean, that would naturally order the whatever the set elements into natural ordering, like
Natural ordering means ascending order or descending order?
ascending order.
Ascending order. So, what entire has tree set implementation? It is make as a uh, as a order, as a maintain the data as a order wise.
I mean, I think it uses internally the self-balanced binaries trees. It uses of that, so that to maintain the data in the sorted way.
Balance tree means this is the sorting tree, right?
Yeah, yeah, balanced binaries trees like red back.
Okay, okay, great, great. So, which one is faster? If I tell you hash set is faster or tree set is faster?
I believe hash rate should be faster because like there's no worry about sorting and all.
Okay, okay, okay. Because of here, no, I have need to comparison things like that, right?
Hmm.
So, so in hashing, you know, vector has what is default size of vector?
I'm not sure. I don't
And hash map default size
know. Default size, I don't know. No.
16.
Okay, I don't know.
This is a very easy thing about that. So you know about SQL database.
Yeah.
So suppose you have a one query, okay? So query is working as a very slow.
Okay.
So what things you will apply to reduce
Hmm.
the legacy in term of legacy, just like as a slow can be moving little bit faster. So what
Okay.
need to be changed?
So the query is it a write query or the read query we are talking
Right query.
about?
What
Okay.
things you first you what things you will avoid?
Okay. Like the first thing I would see, like if there is unnecessary what okay, since we are talking of the right query, there could be a chance if there are multiple unnecessary indexes in the database,
Mm-hmm.
so that would lead to the additional time of the. I mean, it would reduce the write performance
Mm-hmm.
because uh, I have to write the index and then the database. And one point is that, and I would check the database size if
Mm-hmm.
it's over. I mean, if it's almost if it is consuming whole start storage or something, if that's the case, then I should be moving forward to the sharding part. Like, I mean, if I can, if it is able to, if I am able to share the database, so that the each data is divided into different nodes, and the query time would be reduced over that. So yeah, and these are the major things. And in the query perspective also, I will check like if any unwanted things we are in the API perspective first, and then the query perspective, like if any unwanted things we are doing. Or something.
Okay.
And also, yeah, just forgot to one more thing. Like, I mean, if let's say if there are multiple writes happening, right? And I would check first if we are doing it in a batch wise write, or is it an singular like singular write in a for loop. I would always prefer the batch wise write instead of writing a single item inside a for loop.
So, for example, if you are using in clause, right? In
Okay.
inquiry, so this is better approach or bad approach?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't get the inquiry in it. Like,
In where in suppose you are writing select star from table name where id in, and you give the 1000 id by using comma. So
okay, that's the read query, right? Like select star.
read query. So this is good approach or bad approach if you trying to write this way?
I mean, if I'm trying to read this way, like instead of reading one by one, I would prefer to go with this in approach. Like, I mean, like that would read the thousand data altogether instead of, or if required, I can break. I mean, if the in query is too large, I can try to break it into batches of 100 or something instead of. But yeah, it is better than reading one like select star where id equal to this, and then again in a for loop select star where id equal to that. So instead of that, this is the better approach in one.
Okay. So suppose I want to avoid join in Java program.
Okay.
So what approach you will follow?
We One would be we need to denormalize the data,
Mm,
like instead of putting. So there are different ways. Like, I mean, if you're using the one way is the app level join, like the different. I mean, I can different microservices come talk each other and get the product data, get the customer data, and finally there is a what mapper or something which should combine all the data and return the response. That is one way. Or is like if it is permitted, we can put it all together into the one particular table so that it would be accessed. Like, I mean, whichever the data is accessed more.
you can use function.
Like,
Function.
fun-
So what is use of function? Suppose you have in database function procedures. Why we are using this kind of thing?
the stored procedure and all are like, I mean, the set of instruction which needs to be executed. Let's say like, I mean, these are the set of queries, multiple, I mean, the queries which needs to be executed now and then. So instead of executing one by one, we will combine it into function and put it in the database. Either we can execute these in the scheduled time, or like with the call or something like that.
Mm. Okay, so that's great. So you have one question, right?
Okay.
The programmatical, because of here have mandatory. So asking is everyone. So how to find the highest number from array by Java program? This is array. So 19462. So I want to find the highest 9 through the program. So how do you write the code?
Okay. Do you want me to type it? Or, let's go.